Actually, Jonah, you play basketball. You're not even.
This is not the
This is not the I think we all know who my
You're my favorite too.
You know what? That's not very good.
That's
Right?
fine.
What?
Just ignore her, man. She's not.
Okay.
I am amazing.
She's too bitch.
Okay, we're good. Wow. That hurt. Come back.
Both of you.
Oh, we're living.
All right. Ready?
You know what I'm saying?
All right, let's go ahead and get started with round 3. A couple of reminders, make sure you wait to be acknowledged so that you don't lose points. And bonus questions. When I say pencils down, stop conferring, make sure your markers are where I can see them. Make sure you are not talking anymore after that. And then hold your marker boards up the entire time so that your captain can see. And I think that's it. Coming back after break, just make sure if you have a cell phone or whatever, it is turned off. And let's start with Fieldcrest. Would you like to introduce your team?
Hi, my name is Angel Serna. I am the captain for the Fieldcrest Scholastic 8th grade team. We are coached by the amazing Mrs. Fry, and wish my best of luck to the opponents. My teammates will introduce themselves from fastest boat.
My name's Caleb.
Lucas.
One. All right. Angel, can you move your name tag to the other side of your road version? Thank you. Okay, and Roanoke-Benson, would you like to introduce your teammate?
I'm Jackson Beer. I'm the captain of the Roanoke-Benson Scholastic 8 team. We are coached by Mr. Whitman. We wish the best of luck to our opponents, and the teammates will introduce themselves from fastest to slowest.
Jonah.
Mary. Sarah.
Okay. All right, toss up number 1, mathematics, general mathematics, a 30-second question. Add together the 3 fractions, 1/5, 2/7, and 1/3. Jackson.
86 over 105.
That is correct. Bonus, number 1, social studies, 4 parts in geography. Name these cities from their airports. Part 1, this French-speaking city's airport is named for former Canadian Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau. Part 2, its Schiphol Airport is Holland's busiest. Part 3, the majority of planes at this capital city's Barajas Airport are owned by Iberian Airlines. And part 4, this capital of Thailand has a Suvarnabhumi Airport whose name means golden land in Sanskrit. You may confer.
What's number 3's question?
Can you repeat part 3?
The majority of planes at this capital city's Barajas Airport are owned by Iberian Airlines.
Stop time.
Okay, pencils down, please stop conferring. All right, whenever you're ready.
Part 1, Quebec.
That is incorrect.
Part 2, Amsterdam.
That is correct.
Part 3, Lisbon.
That is incorrect.
And part 4, Bangkok.
That is correct. Parts 1 and 3 are available.
Part 3, Quebec.
That is incorrect for part 3.
And part 1, Paris.
That is also incorrect. Part 1 is Montreal, and part 3 is Madrid. Toss up, number 2, language arts, spelling. A huge and elegant light fixture attached to the ceiling of a formal dining room is called a chandelier. Jackson,
CHANDELEIR.
that is incorrect. Spell the French word chandelier. Angel,
CHANDELEIR.
that is also still incorrect. It should be IER at the end. Toss-up number 3, miscellaneous sports. It is the amount of time an ice hockey player must sit in the penalty box for a minor penalty. What period of time is also marked in each half of a pro football game with a warning when only Jackson?
Minute.
That is incorrect. When only that time remains on the clock. Caleb,
Shot clock.
that is incorrect. 2 minutes is the correct answer. Toss-up number 4, social studies, economics. He bought a jungle area in Brazil, hoping to build a rubber plantation, but it never created anything that could be used in cars. Identify this industrial titan whose namesake company was the only major American. Mary,
Ford.
that is correct. Bonus number 2, fine arts, 4 parts in music. Identify the Italian composers of these works. Part 1, the operas Rigoletto and La Traviata. Part 2, the Baroque pieces called the Four Seasons. Part 3, he wrote L'Orfeo, considered the first modern opera. Part 4, the operas Tosca and Madame Butterfly. You may confer.
Stop time.
Pencils down, please stop conferring. Whenever you're ready.
For all parts, Jonathan.
That is incorrect for all parts. All parts are available.
Part 1, Botticelli.
That is incorrect.
Part 2, Vivaldi.
That is correct.
And part 3, no. And part 4.
Okay. Part 1 is Verdi, or Verde. Part 3 is Monteverde. Verdi, okay. And part 4 is Puccini. Good job on the name. All right. Toss up number 5, fine arts, arts. The Italian painters Giovanni Bellini, Giorgione, Tintoretto, and Titian all hailed from what city in northern Italy? Jack.
Florence.
That is incorrect. That is home to St. Mark's Palace and where canals of water. Jonah.
Venice.
That is correct. Bonus number 3, language arts, 4 parts in grammar. Answer these about verbs. Part 1, give the infinitive form of the verb whose past participle is swum. Part 2, these letters are added to the end of a verb to create its present participle. Part 3, give the voice of the verb in the sentence, the cat was chased by the dog. Part 4, this 2-word tense begins with the words will have followed by a past participle. You may confer.
Stop time.
Okay, pencils down, please stop conferring. All right, whenever you're ready.
Part 1, 2 swim.
That is correct.
Part 2, IMG.
That is correct.
Part 3, passive.
That is correct.
And part 4, future perfect.
That is correct. Toss-up number 6, language arts mythology. Its face is believed to be that of an Egyptian pharaoh. In Greek myth, it had the head of a woman and guarded the entrance to the city of Thebes by asking travelers a riddle. Jack,
Sphinx.
that is correct. Bonus number 4, science, 4 parts in life science. Identify these anatomy terms that begin with C. Part 1, this flexible tissue is found in the knee, nose, and ears. Part 2, a small blood vessel that connects an artery to a vein. Part 3, a clump of blood that has started to become solid. Part 4, this type of muscle is found only in the heart. You may confer on part 1 and 3. Here. Okay, time. Okay, pencils down, please stop conferring.
I refer all of my answers to you guys. Part 1, cartilage.
That is correct.
Part 2, capillary.
Could you repeat that?
Capillary.
That is incorrect.
Part 3, clot.
That is correct.
And part 4, cardiac.
That is correct. Part 2 is available.
Part 2, capillary.
Capillary. That is correct. Toss-up number 7, mathematics, algebra, a 30-second question. Give the largest integer that satisfies the inequality 3x plus 7 is less than 39. Jackson,
10.
that is correct. Okay, bonus number 5, mathematics, 4 parts in algebra. Solve these equations for x. Part 1, x over 3 plus 8 equals 3. Part 2, 6 times the quantity of 3x plus 1 equals 4x minus 8. Part 3, x minus 2/3 equals 5 2/3. And part 4, 12x equals 2 2/3. You may confer.
I have 2, 3, 4.
Okay, that's time. Pencils down. Please stop conferring. Go ahead, whenever you're ready.
Part 1, negative 15.
That is correct.
Part 2, negative 1.
That is correct.
Part 3, 6 1/3.
That is correct.
And part 4, negative 2.
That is incorrect. Part 4 is available.
Part 4, 5.
That is also incorrect. Part 4 is 2 9. Toss-up number 8, science, earth science. Famous examples of this gem include the Stuart and the Star of India. What precious gem made of corundum is the September birthstone and is typically Jack.
Of course, it's listed on my essays, I thought. I'm gonna go with that one.
That is incorrect and is typically deep blue. Theo,
Sapphire.
that is correct. Okay, bonus. Number 6, miscellaneous, 4 parts, and consumer economics. Name the main ingredient in each of these dips. Part 1, guacamole. Part 2, hummus. Part 3, pico de gallo. Part 4, tahini. You may confer.
Is that?
Well, if I, if I do that,
Okay, that's time. Pencils down, please stop conferring. Whenever you're ready.
Part 1, avocado.
That is correct.
Part 2, chickpeas.
That is correct.
Part 3, tomato.
That is correct.
No part 4.
Okay, part 4 is available. That is incorrect. Part 4, the correct answer is sesame seeds. Toss up number 9, social studies history. When the Goths split into 2 groups in the 3rd century AD, the eastern group became known as the Ostrogoths. What term was used for the western Goths? Do you remember that? The correct answer is the Visigoths. All right, toss up number 10, science, life science. Scientists have discovered how to make a chemical secreted naturally by an Asian species of wild ox that keeps what type of insect away from the ox, including those that carry both yellow fever and malaria. Jack,
Mosquito.
that is correct. Bonus, number 7, science, 4 parts in earth science. Answer these about volcanoes. Part 1, this volcano near Naples is the only European volcano to have erupted in the last 100 years. Part 2, this indentation in the top of a volcano is the result of a volcano collapsing inward. Part 3, this type of volcano is cone-shaped and forms a very tall peak. Part 4, this adjective describes a volcano that has been sleeping for a long time. You may confirm.
Oh, yeah. Time.
Okay, pencils down, please stop conferring. All right, whenever you're ready.
Part 1, no answer. Part 2, concave.
That is incorrect.
Part 3, no answer. Part 4, doormat.
Could you repeat that?
Doormat.
Okay, yes. Part 4 is correct. Parts 1, 2, and 3 are available.
For all parts, Vesuvius.
That is correct for part 1. Part 2 is a caldera, and part 3 composite volcano. Hey, toss up number 11, language arts, literature. It is either a brief speech at the end of a play or a short section after a novel that tells what finally happens to the main character. Oh, when?
An epilogue?
That is correct.
I had that.
Bonus, number 8, social studies, 4 parts in civics. Identify the constitutional amendment that, part 1, keeps people from having to put up soldiers in their homes. Part 2 requires a trial by jury in cases involving more than $20. Part 3 abolished slavery. Part 4 repealed prohibition. You may confirm.
Time.
Okay, pencils down, please stop conferring. Whenever you're ready.
Part 1, 8.
That is incorrect.
Part 2, 13.
That is incorrect.
Part 3, 13.
That is 4 are available.
Part 1, third.
That is correct.
Part 2, fifth.
That is incorrect.
And part 4, 21st.
That is correct. Part 2, seventh. Toss-up number 12, science, physical science. A recently digitized notebook describes some of this man's most famous thought process. Why do apples always fall perpendicularly and not sideways or upwards? It must be because the earth draws it. Name this British scientist. Jack.
Isaac Newton.
That is correct.
Oh, apples and.
Bonus, number 9, language arts, 4 parts in vocabulary. Give these words from clues you might get in a crossword puzzle. Part 1, to shelter someone or a place for a ship, 6 letters. Part 2, the material in an object or a Catholic church service, 4 letters. Part 3, Arabic for opposite or the lowest point of something, 5 letters. Part 4, athletic result or the number 20, 5 letters. You may concur.
Green part 2.
The material in an object or a Catholic church service, 4 letters.
Can you repeat part 4?
Athletic result or the number 20,
Time.
5 letters.
Time.
Oh, okay, sorry. Pencils down, please stop conferring. All right, whenever you're ready.
Part 1, harbor.
That is correct.
Part 2, math.
That is correct.
Part 3, no answer. And part 4, school.
That is correct for part 4. Part 3 is available.
Part 3, depth.
That is incorrect. Part 3, nadir. N-A-D-I-R. And that is halftime.
I knew also, I just kept waiting. I knew.
Proud of this buzzer as soon as I got the answer out of head. I just made
So that's what it's like to have always.
Yeah.
Well, that's why last game I did. There were questions I didn't plainly didn't.
Yeah.
Wait, the camera's inverted, so it looks like. Jackson, put your right hand up. It's on your left. Hey, what? Ready? Whoa.
Oops, sorry.
Yeah.
That's why I walked over here to get this.
I only got one. I only got one. And there was.
In for, well, actually for Josh. The other 4 of you all got 1, 2.
I know.
So
I knew a lot of
I'll read it.
I got you.
And in for, yeah.
No.
That's all right.
I will get that decision.
Good perception. All right. Ready for Sam? Okay. Now we just want to secure our Scott championship, okay?
No pressure.
No pressure.
All right, let's go ahead and get started. Fieldcrest, would you like to introduce any new team members?
I'm Michael.
Okay, and Roanoke-Benson, do you have new team members?
Wyatt.
Audrey. Anna.
Toss up, number 13, mathematics algebra. Give the math term for numbers that appear in front of a part of an expression, such as the numbers. Jackson,
Coefficient.
that is correct. Bonus, number 10, mathematics, 4 parts in general mathematics. Find the least common multiples of these pairs of numbers. Part 1, 9 and 16. Part 2, 14 and 30. Part 3, 24 and 60. Part 4, 11 and 13. You may confer. So that's time, pencils down, please stop conferring. Whenever you're ready,
Part 1, 144.
that is correct,
Part 2, 210.
that is correct,
Part 3, 120.
that is correct,
Part 4, 143.
that is correct. Good job. Toss up, number 14, social studies, geography. The city's 14 islands border the Baltic Sea, and it is home to the restored worship Vasa and to its country's present king, Karl XVI Gustav. Name this home of the Nordic Museum and the capital city of Sweden. Jonah,
Stockholm.
that is correct. Bonus, number 11, social studies, 4 parts in economics. Name these U.S. states west of the Mississippi from what's shown on their commemorative coins. Part 1, a peregrine falcon, because the Peregrine Fund at the World Center for Birds of Prey is centered in this state's capital. Part 2, a pair of buffalo in Theodore Roosevelt National Park. Part 3, it features the Rocky Mountains, whose highest peak is in the state. Part 4, a bison skull and the words Big Sky Country. You may confer.
Stop sign.
Okay, pencils down, please stop conferring whenever you're ready.
Part 1, Utah.
That is incorrect.
Part 2, Wyoming.
That is incorrect.
Part 3, Colorado.
That is correct.
Part 4, South Dakota.
That is incorrect. Parts 1, 2, and 4 are available.
Part 1, California.
That is incorrect.
Part 2, Tennessee.
That is incorrect.
And part 3, Texas. Part 4, Texas.
That is incorrect. Part 1, Idaho. Part 2, North Dakota. Part 4, Montana. Toss up 15, miscellaneous consumer economics. Homer claimed the Cyclops knew how to make this food. One ancient Roman recommended using the sap of a fig tree in making it because the sap helps curdle its milk. What foods' popular types include Gouda? Jack,
Cheese.
that is correct. I'm just laughing because there's your
Yeah.
cheesy. All right, bonus number 12, science, 4 parts in physical science. Name these simple machines. Part 1, a doorstop is an example of this one. Part 2, it requires a fulcrum. Part 3, it allows heavy things to be moved up a ramp instead of lifted up. Part 4, a swivel chair and a jar lid are examples of this one. You may confer.
I'm positive of part 1 and 2.
Vice
Can you repeat part, please?
It allows heavy things to be moved up a ramp instead of lifted up.
Time.
Okay, pencils down, please stop conferring.
Part 1 wedge.
That is correct.
Part 2 lever.
That is correct.
Part 3 pulley.
That is incorrect.
And part 4 screw.
That is correct. Part 3 is available.
Part 3, inclined plane.
That is correct. Toss up number 16, language arts, vocabulary. What adjective describes natural materials such as wood and cotton that must generally be processed and perhaps even cooked in some way to turn them into useful products? Jack?
Manufactured goods.
That is incorrect. Jackson?
Raw.
That is correct. Bonus 13, language arts, 4 parts in spelling. Spell these words from past spelling bees. Part 1, surrealist, a painter like Salvador Dali. Part 2, plummet, meaning to fall very far, very quickly. Part 3, vicariously, meaning done as a substitute for another person. Part 4, egregious, meaning obviously bad. You may confer.
Can you repeat part 4?
Egregious, meaning obviously bad.
It's not. I'm going to
Stop time.
Okay, pencils down, please stop conferring. All right, whenever you're ready.
Part 1, surrealist.
That is correct.
Part 2, plummet.
That is correct.
Part 3, vicariously.
That is correct.
Part 4, aggregous.
That is incorrect.
Part 4 is available.
Part 4, AGGEGIOUS.
That is incorrect. EGREGIOUS. Okay, toss up 17, science, physical science. In the 1920s, the U.S. government controlled its American supply and set up a national reserve of it in Amarillo, Texas. Name this chemical element used to fill airships and children's balloons. Jack,
Helium.
that is correct. Bonus number 14, science, 4 parts in life science. Identify these common birds. Part 1, Native Americans ate a lot of them, and Americans do too every November. Part 2, with species called barn and tree, it gets its name from the way it eats insects in mid-flight. Part 3, with species brown and white, it eats fish that it holds in its huge throat pouch. Part 4, the legend that it brings babies is believed to be from Germany. Many there hope that the birds nesting on their house will bring good luck. You may confirm.
Time, go with Anna.
All right, pencils down, please stop conferring whenever you're ready.
Part 1, turkey.
That is correct.
Part 2, owl.
That is incorrect.
Part 3, pelican.
That is correct.
And part 4, stork.
That is correct. Part 2 is available.
Part 2, sparrow.
That is incorrect. Part 2, swallow. Toss up number 18, mathematics, general mathematics, a 30-second question. Give the two integers between which you would find the exact value of the cube root of 177. Jackson,
13 and 14.
that is incorrect. Jack,
16 and 17.
that is also incorrect. The correct answer is between 5 and 6.
Can I take a timeout?
Yes.
I said, keep yours.
Oh.
Sorry. Is it good? Is it good?
All right. Fieldcrest, would you like to introduce your new team members?
Hannah? Riley?
And you guys can switch, correct? Okay. Toss up number 19, fine arts, music. This object's types include E flat, bass, both A and A flat, and the B flat variety used in school marching band. Name this woodwind instrument featured in George Gershwin's Rhapsody in Blue, whose parts include a mouthpiece and a reed. Angel,
Clarinet?
that is correct. Bonus number 15, mathematics, 4 parts in general mathematics. Give these unrelated answers. Part 1, if 2 is the first prime number, give the 7th prime number. Part 2, how many feet are in 3 miles? Part 3, what is 8 divided by 7/3? Part 4, give the term for the result of a long division problem. You may confer.
I got a guess from number 2. And,
Time?
Okay, pencils down, please stop conferring. All right, whenever you're ready.
Part 123.
That is incorrect.
Part 2, 2,620.
That is incorrect.
Part 3, 7/24.
That is incorrect.
And part 4, quotient.
That is correct for part 4. Parts 1, 2, and 3 are available.
Part 1, 17.
That is correct.
Part 2, 15,840.
That is correct.
Part 3, 3 and 9/21.
That is incorrect. For part 3, it should be 3 3/7 or 24/7. Yes. Okay, toss up number 20, social studies history. One reason he was nominated for president was because his time as minister to Russia, secretary of state, and minister to Britain kept him out of the U.S. too much to have many enemies. What mid-1800s president's first lady was his, let me start that sentence over. What mid-1800s president's first lady was his niece Harriet Lane. Anna,
Benjamin Franklin?
that is incorrect. because he was the only president who never married. The correct answer is James Buchanan. Toss-up number 21, language arts, literature. His first book was rejected 27 times before it was published as And to Think That I Saw It on Mulberry Street. Name this classic American. Audrey.
Dr. Seuss?
That is correct. Okay, bonus number 16, miscellaneous, 4 parts in physical science. Answer these about Thanksgiving. Part 1, this deer meat was eaten at the first Thanksgiving. Part 2, month in which Canadians celebrate Thanksgiving. Part 3, this department store chain still sponsors an annual Thanksgiving parade on NBC. Part 4, this Massachusetts town hosts an annual America's Hometown Thanksgiving celebration. You may confer.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Stop time.
Okay, pencils down, please stop conferring. All right, whenever you're ready.
Part 1, Venison.
That is correct.
Part 2, September.
That is incorrect.
Part 3, Macy's.
That is correct.
And Part 4, Plymouth.
That is correct. Part 2 is available. October. That is correct. Toss-up number 22, science, health. Fixing a broken one may not require surgery, but a figure 8 sling. Jeff, what? Bone? No, sorry, I didn't hear you first. No, that is incorrect. But a figure 8 sling is helpful to keep your shoulders back and reduce pain while it heals. Give the medical term for this bone that can be easily seen through the skin and is often called the collarbone. The correct answer is clavicle. Toss-up number 23, mathematics, geometry. The volume V of a prism can be calculated with the formula V equals B times H, where H is the prism's height and B is what? Audrey.
The prism's base?
That is incorrect. Jack.
Prism's base length.
That is also incorrect. It's the area of space. Okay, toss-up number 24, final toss-up. Social studies, current events. First and last name needed. This graduate of the University of St. Andrews became a celebrity when she married into the British royal family. Anna.
Meghan Markle.
That is incorrect. Give the first and last. Did somebody say both? No, okay. Give the first and last name of this commoner woman who married Britain's Prince William. Quinn.
Princess Diana.
That is incorrect. The
That's her name.
Middleton, yep. That is a match.
Nice job, Fieldcrest.
Every time I buzz in, someone buzzes in.
Coach,
Meghan Markle's not. I know, I'm trying to remember the name, I'm saying it right.
She's growing her hair.
Yeah.
Every time I buzz in, a person buzzes in at the exact.
Jack's got a quick buzzer.
Yeah, she's got a quick buzz.
He's